Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, Jason Hard Knocks Alexander.
We await the arrival of Jason Alexander. At 37, he stands 5'9", hailing from Orangeville, Ontario. He's 0-1 in his professional career.
His trainers aren't Kramer and Jerry, right?
Jerry.
Joking, that's a little bit of fun.
He goes by the nickname of Hard Knocks. Alexander weighed in at 174 pounds. It could have come in as high as 175. There we get a good look at Hard Knocks, Jason Alexander. Another man that started in the fight game a little bit late in his career. 37 years of age, and he's 0-1.
Yeah, it's tough when you start in this sport late. It's more of a young man's sport. But I ain't taking anything away from him.
Absolutely not. This is a rematch between him and Tim Cronin. Back to the ring, here's Thomas
And
Driver.
now let's welcome to the ring, fighting tonight out of the red corner, Tim, the Irish Cronin.
Now, we've had the pleasure of seeing Tim Cronin on a number of occasions, including the last time we were all together here at the Hershey Center, and the Irishman puts on a great show.
Including his entrance.
Yes, including his entrance. Flags from everywhere. This is the light heavyweight division. Cronin at 2-1, hails from Belleville, Ontario. He weighed in at 171 and a half pounds.
I haven't seen yet. Oh, that's all. I want some work. I hope so.
Now you see Etobicoke, Ontario on our screen, but having talked with him yesterday, he says, no, I'm in Belleville now, and that's where I want to be known as.
As a fighter, preparing for this fight, especially a guy like Jason Alexander, your only fight professionally has been against the same guy. You lose a unanimous decision. How do you prepare mentally for him without getting anger in the way?
Well, they have videotapes to look at. They study those. I mean, I'm sure he can come up. There's always a formula. It's the sweet science. There's a way of beating every guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues with 4 rounds scheduled in the light heavyweight division. It is being brought to you by United Boxing Promotions in association with Title Fight Promotions, along with their great sponsors, Everlast, IFC Transport, and Tire Discounter. Our 3 judges scoring on a 10-point must system will be Kelly Zolnierczak, Martin Dalita, and Alan Davis. Our referee in charge will be Donovan Boucher. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, he's wearing black trunks with silver and white and weighed in at 174 pounds. He brings a professional record of no and just one defeat. Ladies and gentlemen, from Orangeville, Ontario, please welcome Jason Knox Alexander. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He's wearing white with green and orange and weighed in at 171.5 pounds. Hailing from Toronto, Ontario, he is representing the Cabbagetown Boxing Club, and he has a professional record consisting of 2 wins and just 1 defeat. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Tim, the Irish Cronin.
Got to ask you, Tibor, this is a rematch between these two guys, and you usually see early on in a career, once you beat someone, you don't give them a rematch this quickly.
Yeah, you know, they're both starting off and learning. They need to settle the score.
Keep the punches above the waistline here. Here is good.
Very seldom, though, you see this.
That's true.
The back of the head. All right, so no. All right, I want a good clean fight, gentlemen. Just move up a little bit. Put your hands down. All right, good. Just down a little bit. Put the cup down. Okay. All right, that's good. Good. All right, gentlemen. It's good luck to both of you.
There's the tail of the tape between Alexander and Cronin. 30 and 37 years of age, respectively. Both came in today at the official weigh-in at 175 pounds. Good to see Donovan Boucher back in the middle of the ring. I guess that 16-second first fight he did really wasn't enough to earn a paycheck.
Cronin, obviously being the longer fighter, you know, you want to stick to the outside, and you know he can tee off on Alexander from where he is.
Alexander's going to have to use his muscle and really just push him around the ring. He's got to cut Cronin off from moving.
I'd like to see him just, you know, get that jab up by his chin and throw it out straight, kind of get himself closer to Cronin.
He's got a bit of a loop in his punching style, doesn't he?
Yeah, and that's what I mean. You know, he's the shorter guy already. You don't want to make his punches even more shorter than they already are by throwing wide loopy shots. He wants to get a little bit closer to Cronin and then let those shots go. There's a good jab to the body. There's another one, another good stab. More jabs I'd like to see.
Yeah, you got to throw more punches. Cronin's got to keep out of the way and not get tangled up with him, Michelle.
Yeah, absolutely. Being in the corner does not serve him well. Use your footwork, stay on the outside. And, you know, I find Alexander doesn't exactly have, you know, his hands aren't in a traditional boxing stance. He's got really wide elbows.
Yeah, he's got him flared out a little bit. Cronin might want to take that, you know, look to go to the body a little bit underneath those elbows.
And he did so right there, then goes back up top. Early on in the career of both these fighters, especially in their pro career, do they tend to go more for the head than they should?
Yeah, you don't want to, you know, that could be developed from an amateur background that you might have. You know, amateurs tend to go and headhunt a lot. Good pros, though, know how to mix it up.
Absolutely.
Body, head, body.
You know, I was just going to say, I think, you know, when you're an amateur, you're just, I don't know if maybe it's all that like pent-up aggression and anxiety. You always seem to just go there, and that's the only thing you see is the headshots. You don't see those body shots, and it's, you know, you become a seasoned fighter when you do see those openings down low and you go for them, because you can get knocked out pretty hard with a good body shot.
Well, the judges obviously see the headshots more clear than the body shots, and I don't want to take anything away from the amateur fighters, because I know many good amateur fighters that have helped me get ready for fights. They're skilled. They keep you honest.
But a good body shot, like Michelle said, can do just as much damage and can hurt just as much. You get a guy in the liver or the kidneys, and that can do just as much damage, but maybe not in a 4-round fight. Is that what they're thinking?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. You know, a body shot, if it's landed right, the timing is good. A lot of guys will drop right then and there. But you know, if you can suck it up, yeah, 4 rounds might not be enough. Might not be enough.
I guess too, it depends on your opponent and their stature and all that as well, because you know, just from appearances, you would assume a guy like Alexander, you know, he's shorter, stockier, thicker, he could take, you know, a well-placed body shot. But
right.
Hey, you never know. That's the beauty of boxing.
Cronin comes out of the corner. Alexander wearing the black trimmed in white. Good flurry from Alexander. Cronin backed against the ropes right in front of us. Referee Donovan Boucher sending the fighters back at it in the middle of the ring.
Tibor, I'm noticing 2 things about Alexander. He's doing what he has to do to be successful, which is essentially bull rushing Cronin and making him go back on his heels and literally only move backwards without any angles. But he's also doing that with his chin up in the air.
you hit it. You hit the nail on the head. I was going to say, when he throws punches, his chin is up in the air a little bit. His shoulders are a little bit low. He's very susceptible to getting
leaning
hit
forward
right back.
too.
Yeah, and he's very square also.
Cronin goes down to the body for the 2nd time in a row. Alexander, the busier of the 2 fighters here in the 2nd round. Certainly is throwing more punches. How effective they are, we'll have to wait and see.
But you know what? When you're scoring a fight like this, right now Alexander's completely controlling the ring.
He's controlling this round.
Where it's going.
But I gotta believe that those big looping punches are gonna catch up to him. Maybe not tonight, but they will catch up to him in his career. There's an overhand right from Cronin. Cronin gets on his horse, going back to left, back to the right. Stabs his way out of trouble in the corner. Back pedals to the middle of the ring. Alexander trying to stalk his prey.
I was just gonna say, Cronin needs to get busy now. You know, yeah, he's not doing enough right now. He's not doing anything other than trying to get out of the way.
He's really let this 2nd round slip away.
Absolutely. I even find that Alexander's blocking style is more like a Thai boxing style, where, you know, he's, you know, catching and parrying instead of, you know, with the tight hands, tight arms, and elbows in, and, you know, using it, you know, head movement and everything. I don't see it from him. I don't see like a traditional boxing defense on him either.
Yeah, like I said,
he's getting away with it too.
He's a bit square, but you know, as he's getting closer to Cronin there, I do notice he's got his eyes fixed on Cronin pretty well. He is deflecting a few shots off his arms. I think he felt pretty good that round.
Michelle, that's the kind of defense, though, you can get away with early in your career. But as you start to fight more accomplished fighters, that will certainly be something that they have to look into changing.
Well, you should hope so, right? And for a guy like Cronin, you know, we've seen him perform really well in this very ring here at the Hershey Center, and we've seen more out of him. Quite frankly, I'm a little disappointed right now through 2 rounds. We've seen him be always a busier fighter.
I don't know about you guys, but I've got it with 1 round apiece.
Yep.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Oh,
Alexander connected with a nice shot. Missed with the overhand left. Cronin goes to the head, then goes back to the body. Interesting that we don't hear much from either corner.
yeah, you don't hear much, eh?
I think when you have a fight like this, obviously 2 very different styles of fighters, and you know, it's all about Alexander trying to cut off the ring for Cronin. I feel like no one's really pushing the pace right now. No one is taking advantage, and no one is dictating who has this fight. One of these guys could really take a hold of this fight and go with it.
Well,
and I feel like no one's doing that.
Last round, Alexander did that, but he hasn't been able to stay with it here in the 3rd round.
Yeah. It's almost as if the sizing up is still happening, but we're in the 3rd round, though.
Of a 4-round fight.
That's right. We don't have time for it. You can hear Alexander's corner basically getting on him now to be more busy and to throw more punches, because both of them have been a little bit more stagnant in this 3rd.
Yeah, they hadn't been happy with the 2nd round, Tibor, but this 3rd round, he hasn't looked half of what. It's almost like the 2nd round took everything he had out of him.
Yeah, I think he looks okay still. He's still doing some things. He's very aware of what's going on in there. The fight was a little bit standoffish in the beginning there, but they're wearing it out. Cronin's timing looks a little bit off tonight.
Yeah, it does. He paws at the left. Cronin comes through with the jab.
Yeah, you see Cronin, he's moving him back now a little bit.
The hands of Alexander are starting to drop a little bit. Alexander gets caught with that overhand trying to come in. Cronin follows up again.
Very ironic, too, that the bigger fighter is throwing an overhand. It's usually the other way around, the smaller fighter throwing an overhand right to try to catch the bigger fighter.
Little mouse under the left eye of Jason Alexander.
That last round was pretty hard to score. I give it to Cronin, though, just because he kept busy at the end.
Yeah.
That last minute or so won him that round. Otherwise,
but he also connected on the punches with a little more authority than what Alexander was putting up.
Oh yeah, good round for Cronin.
Tibor, you can really see what you were talking about with both fighters almost look a little bit out of sorts, a little bit off pace.
Well, we were saying, two very different styles. Their timing looks a little bit off to me.
This is the 4th and final round.
Fourth and final round for these 2 fighters in their rematch. Cronin took the first fight. Cronin, 2 nice jabs. Alexander tries to go down to the bottom, and Cronin comes right back.
Cronin actually throwing literally straight down the pipe, straight punches, which is probably what he should have been doing for a while.
And they're connecting, too. That one right there was a beautiful jab. Nice with the left. Tries to go down low. Seems now Alexander trying to come inside. He's getting caught with punches, Tibor.
Yeah, he's trying to move forward, Alexander, but he's not effective as he was earlier in the fight. And Cronin's got a little more time and space to set him up and throw those shots down the pipe. He's working that jab pretty good now.
It is working well.
That's what he needs to do. Nothing.
all leather. Cronin throws the uppercut.
What I'd like to see from Cronin is some fake and go, you know, feinting him a little bit. Use that jab.
Good combination coming from Alexander. Both of those connecting. He has Cronin a little bit dazed, but Cronin moves out of the way. Alexander pushes his man against the ropes, trying to keep him in the corner. He caught Cronin on that one as well. Cronin ducks his way out of trouble. Again, Alexander tallying up the points, connecting on the jab. 1:10 left here in the fourth and final round. Under a minute to go. Cronin, nice job to get the right in there. Alexander pins him against the ropes. Donovan Boucher's going to let them work their way off the ropes, and Cronin gets back to the middle of the ring. Nice job going to the body from Cronin. Alexander misses over top. Missed on the uppercut. Looks like an active fighter, but he's certainly not connecting very often.
Yeah, no, he looks like he's running out of gas.
Wild right from Cronin over the top of the head. There's a good jab coming. Cronin steps back in with a combination.
There's a feint there before that combination.
Oh, just missed with the uppercut. Connects with the right, and the fourth round comes to a close in this four-round rematch.
Tibor, can I ask your opinion on something?
Yes.
When a fight's kind of like that, a little bit of a stalemate and nothing's really going for either fighter, would you ever switch your stance? Give him something different to look at, and then you attack with something different, right?
Yeah, there's been a lot of great fighters. You know, there's been a lot of great fighters in the past that are known for switching stances, and they've proven that it can be very effective. Marvin Hagler switched stance all the time. In my opinion, my pro career, I never really switched up too much, so it was not something I thought about too often. No.
There you see Tim Cronin with a couple of connections right there. Just missed and took one right back from Jason Alexander. I don't know about you guys. I got it 39-37 for Cronin and winning this one.
I agree. I give it to Cronin.
Michelle?
I agree too. I mean,
this is not good. We're always agreeing.
I know, but you know what though? You never know. The last one was a unanimous decision. This one could be a split, possibly.
Yeah. Could be a draw. You never know.
That's one thing that I think we wanted to learn about the Higson fight. You never want to leave it to the judges' hands, but...
Here's Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Martin DeLita scores it 39-37, and both judges Kelly Zolnierczak and Alan Davis score it the same, 40-36, all in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, Tim the Irish Cronin.
Michelle, some quick thoughts on that fight.
And ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause
I
for
thought
Jason
Cronin could have been a little bit more
Alexander.
busy too. We've seen him perform well. Like Tibor said, I'm in agreement that both fighters didn't really look like they were on their game, which seems to happen. But you know what, though? A very valiant performance by Jason Alexander.
Tibor, some final quick thoughts. One word.
Cronin deserved it. Put the stuff together well.
Absolutely. I had it 39-37.